Welcome back for our final segment. This week's edition of Grizzly Connect will feature an up-and-coming swimmer with the ASC women's swim program, native of Texas, freshman April Cunningham, who is a wildlife biology major, which is interesting considering the type of zoo we live in the San Luis Valley. What is your favorite creature that you have discovered in your time in southern Colorado?
I know this is really lame, but I have to say mule deer because the deer back in Texas are really small. They're whitetail and they're lame, and they're not as cool as mule deer.
Okay, so wait, what separates the cool factor, like the coolness factor, from a regular deer and a mule deer? Your deer are lame? I mean, I feel like that's being quite derogatory to the Texas deer, and they probably don't appreciate that.
The deer here are just huge. Like they're man deer. They're deer. The deer back home are little girly wimpy deer, and
You're coming from an area, though, where there is just a bizarre, eclectic collection of wildlife, though. So when you're telling me about Central Texas wildlife, give me an example of what's happening in Jonestown and kind of in the hill country that would be completely different to life in southern Colorado here.
um, actually not a lot. It really is the deer. I don't want to talk about the deer a lot, but it really is the deer. I mean, you got raccoons here, and you got possums and same stuff we have there.
Well, I appreciate that you're rocking your Costa Rica wildlife shirt. It brings out the major, which, of course, was a big draw here. You know, when you were committing to ASC back in May of 2011, you really discussed Coach France's arrival, new coach, second-year program, and also the ability to pursue your career. I mean, it really seems like a perfect mix. You're also looking at the University of New Orleans and some other schools, but what really separated Adams State?
It was the wildlife biology because I really like New Orleans a lot. It's a really awesome city, but they only offered regular biology, and I was hooked with wildlife biology. And when I came and visited the school and looked at all the facilities and stuff, I just really liked it a lot because, I mean, it seems like there's a really good biology program here. Now I found out that there is. It's really hard, but I mean, that's what I was looking for, something to challenge me.
To be fair, there is a lot of wildlife biology studies on Bourbon Street that you could probably locate that would differ from ASC. Probably a nice choice, though, avoiding the University of New Orleans and all that it would offer. Since you've arrived here, it's been a nice mix of pursuing something you've enjoyed for a career in academia and also succeeding in the pool. What is something, though, that stands out about your class and what you're doing to pursue your passion and, scouring the San Luis Valley for these creatures? What happens outside of the classroom?
Well, we go, like, for fun, just to go to the dunes a lot. And we go to Zapata Falls, and that was another thing that's different from New Orleans. Like, it's a fun city, and you can do some crazy stuff, but my real passion is outdoors and nature, and I realized that after coming here.
Well, I mean, the great thing about being at ASC is the type of craziness that you would typically take part in New Orleans happens with Coach France because he embodies all of the wild, eccentric spirit that New Orleans is known for. I mean, Coach France is just a different kind of coach in the sense that you really have a close, intimate approach with him, a relationship that's different than a lot of other coaches you would have on campus. So what does make him so unique? And be careful.
He talks a lot of smack. I don't know how to say it nicely, but he's really intense in the pool. But when we get out of the pool, we can joke with him and we can have fun, and that's what keeps us from killing him.
April Cunningham with the ASC women's swimming program. Well, this is kind of not the do or die portion of the schedule, but you're training for the RMAC championships. This is when all of the training really comes together. What has been something that has taken place in recent weeks that you feel like is really going to assist you in your preparation for the championships?
Well, we've been doing a lot of speed work and cutting down our yardage a lot, and being up at altitude from coming from almost sea level at Texas, really it takes a long, long time to recover from practices. So cutting out yardage, and we feel a lot better. We feel great now.
So break this down for me. Let's say when you were on campus at UNO, I mean, you're below sea level at New Orleans, going through just a practice run there, and in your first practice run at over 7,500 feet in southern Colorado, just how your body reacted, what was the difference?
I didn't even have to practice here. I walked up the stairs in the library, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was breathing so hard.
Seriously? You didn't even get in the pool? You're like, I hate this? It was just that quick? So you get in the pool, and you climb those steps. They are quite adventurous.
It's a lot of steps, but I got in. I was really nervous. I was like, I'm never going to adjust. And now I mean, it's still a little bit difficult, but I feel like I'm back at home.
When you did go back at home, how much time did you have to spend in the pool? Did you get a chance to really compare and contrast the differences in your ability at 7,500 feet above sea level and back in Texas?
Yeah, we practiced at home for over Christmas break, like 6 days, and it's the best 6 days of my life. I could breathe again. I could hold times that I can't hold up here. It's just a lot easier, and that's what makes me super pumped up for conference. It's going to be back in my home state.
Yep. Down at Incarnate Ward, going down to San Antonio. Do they have lame deer around San Antonio too?
Of course. Of course they do.
I feel like we're going to have to send apology letters to these poor Texas deer. We've just been shredding their credibility.
Nothing personal. I like them. It's just I was really impressed with the deer here. They're fluffy and beautiful, and they're beautiful deer.
We just can't get any better. That's just going to have to be how we conclude this interview. April Cunningham, ASC swim program. Didn't think it was going to go in this direction. Quite happy that it did. April, thank you for chatting with us.
You're welcome. It was fun. Even though I was scared.
A little scared, she says. Well, that'll do it for another edition of Grizzly Connecting.